All right, good evening. So here we are, ready to close InterSpeech 2018 in Hyderabad and sort of welcome our next InterSpeeches also, right, while we sort of finish off. I really hope you had a great time. So this is a time when we actually want to, look back and thank the whole bunch of people that made this happen, right? So in our traditional sort of Indian way, we say thank you with our folded hands, and we're multilingual, so we have many sort of ways of saying thank you. To help me with that, I will invite Professor Yajna Narayana to the stage. Please come on here, and fellow general co-chairs, Professor, long effort that actually has culminated in bringing InterSpeech to Hyderabad. One particular thing I want to give a shout out to is this tradition that was built by Professor T.V. Srinivas and Yajna Narayana, everyone, to have this winter school in speech and audio processing over the years, workshop in image and speech processing, everything, all that brought together this wonderful set of people, students and faculty, that actually sort of made this amazing conference happen. So our first and biggest thanks goes to our wonderful volunteers, 160 of them. So let's... Yeah, thank you so much for what you've done and what you've been doing. And nothing would have happened without you guys. I know tirelessly, 24/7, you've been working, not just during the conference, before that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so without you, nothing would happen. So, of course, our sponsors have been generous. So, Surya, do you want to? Surya, Surya, thank you. Take it back. So thank you again. So you may go and volunteer. Our sponsors, we thank them. They came through and helped us, handle. India is like, it's expensive to run a conference like this, and their support is very gratefully acknowledged. Our advisory board of eminent folks have been very helpful, right, for the last 4 years, providing a lot of words of wisdom and how to do these things. We thank them. Our amazing program chairs, Professor Hema Murthy, Professor Preeti Rao, Professor Pawalku, and Professor Prasanta Kumar Ghosh, have been sort of, working tirelessly, and what you saw and what you enjoyed is all their hard work. Committee, I can't name all of them, like India, a lot of people. Our committees had a lot of people, and wonderful people. Just take a look at them. They all kind of contributed, in amazing ways. Here, gave you a moment to look at this wonderful set of people that helped. There's more. So thanks to all of them. Thanks to ISCA board. So they've been sort of helpful, sometimes, needling us to do this and do that. But together, this has, resulted in, I feel, like one of the best conferences I've been in. So thank you to the board. And we had an amazing PCO, all the things that you've seen here, signage, we'll come back to them, the signage to displays and everything. They've been so attentive and so wonderful in helping us sort of actually execute a lot of things. So Arjun is their leader with Vasu, Eknath, Ajay, and Raj. When they come in, we will sort of, I don't know where. They'll be here. So they're working still. So we'll come back to them later. The staff of this HICC Convention Center, as you saw, they've been there, whether it's putting together, the welcome reception place or banquet place or anything that we wanted. They've been amazingly helpful. And EFSO and the people who did the website and back end, we've been changing everything on the fly. Hybro, our AV team, thank you. And finally, we have a few, I said that there's like a huge team that made this happen, but there are a few people that stand out and we feel that really we have to do something. And finally, we have to call up just a handful of people, right, up here and embarrass them a little bit more. And so the first one is Professor Chandrasekhar.
Yes. We would like to specially acknowledge 4 people, although everybody has contributed to the success of this, but I think we would like to specially mention, first is Professor Chandra, the man dealing with money, finance. So thanks, Chandra, for the excellent management of the funds, and it made us almost break even. So I think so it's mainly due to his contribution. Next we have, right away? Okay. I thought we... way of putting a shawl around. Should we wait him or ask him to wait?
We can do a photo together.
Right.
All right. The next person is...
This person, you don't know how, we also don't know how he worked. I mean, it's amazing to collect almost, how many submissions? Over 1,600 submissions, so many, 5,000 reviews, and getting the program ready, I think with a team of 30, 40, 50 people round the clock working at the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, whom I don't get to see them, but I could get to visualize how hard they were working by talking to him over phone, and because he's not available most of the time on phone, that is a different matter. But and it's a great, if you see the technical program, the way it is, not only just bringing the booklet, but also the pen drive and many other things, and contacting people, chairs, session chairs, and so on. Great job he's done. Please give a round of applause to Prashant Kumar Ghosh. The next person, Chandrasekhar Selamantala, his job runs into several years, started almost 2 years ago, the so-called publicity. How many tasks he has done in not only just publicity, but keeping track of many people here, abroad, contacting people, getting email letter, getting press statements, everything he has done over the past 2 years, untiring efforts. And so thanks, Chandra Selamantala, for the wonderful job that you have done. And finally, the man of the moment, Surya Kant. I mean, you can't believe the whole local organizing and also preparing your registration kits, whatever it is. I think he kept about 200 volunteers on their toes for the past 2 months. And such a wonderful, I think I got the feedback from many of you, the reception at the airport, and it gives such a comfort feeling for anybody who is visiting the country for the first time, seeing a display of the interspeech board and volunteers. I think most of them have helped you to reach the taxi and so on. Apart from that, everything else, for example, including, I think rest of the things I don't have, your transport, receptions, many other things. But the most important thing I must tell you, what has happened to the one who has lost his passport yesterday. I mean, it's amazing. All of us were struggling to see whom to contact. Everybody sends another WhatsApp message and so on, or another person contact. In fact, we contacted police and so on. All of this we did, but we forgot what this fellow was doing, this Surya. He, along with the HICC people traces that, and the CCTV that person entered the bus with the bag, but while getting down, the bag was not there. And what happened then? And the bus people have noticed that there was no bag. And he said, no, that must be something wrong. He took some volunteers along with him and tried 3-4 buses, and finally he found the bag, noticed with a passport. And you can imagine what a relief to the person. So I think that is the hallmark of all of this, apart from many other things all of do in a probably routine way. Thanks to Surya for such a wonderful job that you have done. It's very kind of you. A special mention about the PCO. PCO, or our event manager, I think we took him into this for almost 2.5, 3 years ago. And he has organized any number of conferences here, but this one is special. And I must tell all these members of his team, we are only bringing 4 of them onto the stage, 5 of them, but led by Mr. Arjun. One thing I noticed, obviously this is not the only conference they organize, but they organize so many conferences. But the wonderful thing about any of these people is make a phone call, even if they are in a meeting, next 2 seconds later you will get a reply call. And within a few minutes, most of the time, the issue is addressed and solved by them. And what a wonderful team he has collected. And in fact, throughout, if something is happening, the most important thing I should mention here, most of you may not know, the day before this, that is on 2nd of September night, there was a big wedding going on. In fact, in the very hall, if anybody has seen that, you would be wondering when these guys are going to have inaugural function here, you see, because they occupied this whole place with almost a stage, half of this hall filling and 2,000 guests and so on. And I told him I am worrying. He said, don't worry. The more times he says, don't worry, I kept worrying more. And I kept on giving him calls to find out what it is. Next day morning, they left at 2 a.m. or something. At 5:36, it was ready the way you see it. Again, we should thank all this excellent team led by Mr. Arjun. He is in the middle there. And so thank you all for the excellent cooperation that you have given to us. And it is again, in our traditional way, we would like to honor them by covering a shawl, giving a shawl to them. Thank you again.
Thank you again. So, of course, final goes to thanks to all of you for coming and being here.
We are India's oldest conference organizers, and we've been doing this for 26 years. But when I say that, we were just discussing 2 minutes before, that right from the speaker preview room, the way all of you came and did it, I mean, my colleague Raj here, who said that it was fabulous the way everybody came and uploaded. There was nothing, they knew exactly what they wanted to do. And the attendance in the halls, the way everybody came, there was no, I mean, this is a group that was a pleasure to work with, and all of you made our day wonderful. And this is one of the only closing ceremonies I've seen the audience, the hall packed to the brim. Normally it's few people. Credit goes to this community. Hats off to all of you. And I know I've been told that we are all here and use our phones and run our businesses because of you all. Grateful for that.
Thank you, Arjun.